Hey guys, and welcome back to the Inksy channel, where today we will be doing a completely normal crochet with me making Grim Reapers. Nothing strange about it. Right, okay, so let's jump into it. I've got all my supplies here. So what we're working with is we got our scissors. This is my favorite crochet hook. It's got a little wooden handle to it. It is a 4.5 size. And I use it for like everything. Like this is, if I don't know what hook size to use, this is just my go-to one. I've got my crocheting needle. I've got a stitch marker, because that's important. Fucking use your stitch markers. I've got white for the skeleton head. We're gonna be using this Parfait pom-pom chunky yarn, which I haven't used yet and I'm very excited about because it's got these little splashed rainbow colors in it that I think are super cute. We've got a tiny bit of hot pink yarn that'll be for the blush on the cheeks. And the pattern itself kind of calls for like a smaller felt eye, but I like things that are bug-eyed, so fuck. I dropped it. Fuck. So we've got, fuck. What size are these? I don't actually know what size these are. I'm really bad about just getting eyes and like storing them and never remembering what size they actually are, but these are like the biggest safety eyes I have. So that's the size we'll be using. And I've got the backs to go with those. And yeah, so I think that's everything we need to get. Oh, I have stuffing somewhere. These plushies don't require a lot of stuffing, but I'm really bad about measuring things out, so just use your best judgment, and I don't know. All right. So we are ready to get started. So we start with a magic ring of 6. And this part I will just kind of fast forward through because y'all probably don't care to see this whole process. I already lost count. You know, I wasn't sure how much white yarn I actually need to make the skull, but currently I think I'm playing a game of chicken. As you know, people who crochet often say they play games of chicken with their yarn because it's just you against whatever yarn is left, and you just hope that you've got enough yarn to finish what you're working on. I'm pretty sure I have more of this type of white yarn if I don't have enough, but I'm not 100% sure, so that finishes row. But I've got about this much white yarn left to finish the head. So let's see if we can do it. Okay, so we lost our game of chicken. I've got about that much yarn left and probably another 2 or 3 rows to go to finish the head. So let me see if I've got more of this yarn. Score! We do! We're back in business, boys! Okay. Now it's time to add the eyes. So, to do the eyes, we are going to first... Oh, let me find it. Did I lose it? So to do the eyes, we're going to take one and insert it right about here, because I've got these little loops that stick out right above here, and I want it to kind of meet the corner of the eye with the corner of the mouth, where the mouth's going to be. And we'll do the same on the other side. Look a little bit like that, space-wise. So once I've got those where I'm happy with them, we're going to take our little backs and we're just going to snap them onto the center part. Just like that. Okay. And now the eyes are secured. So let's move on to the next part. One thing I like about this pattern is that it will have you do a single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease for that last row instead of just getting to the point where you're decreasing the whole time, because that allows you to have a gap where you can put stuffing in at the end and to sew it shut instead of just decreasing until the hole's too small. I like doing that because it gives the bottom of the piece a bit of a flatter surface, which is what we want here because it's going to be going in the hood, as opposed to making it more round. Ready to cut plenty enough to sew with. Yeet. Let's stuff it. With stuffing, I like to push the stuffing to the outer edges first, leaving the middle kind of hollow, and then at the end I will just stuff a bunch of stuffing into the middle section so that it's very firm. Because I find that stuffing, I usually stuff my pieces pretty tight because over time the stuffing settles. So plushies that you think you stuffed pretty firmly, after, you know, weeks, the stuffing settles, so then it just doesn't hold its shape as well. It gets squishy. So if I really want it to hold its shape, which isn't as much of a problem with like this Posh yarn because it's stiffer, so it doesn't do that as much, but definitely with the softer chenille yarns, I recommend stuffing more than you feel is necessary just to combat the stuffing settling over time. So I feel that this has, you know, it's pretty firm, but also malleable in case you need to move it around. So that's about good. Like if it's so, like if it's got so much stuffing in it that you can't sew this shut well, you stuffed it too much. To sew it shut, I am inserting the thread in the front loop of all the stitches going around our opening and just pulling the thread through. I'm not pulling it tight yet. I'm just going to make a whole loop around here in the first loops of all of them. And once I reach where I started, which will be about now, I will grab it. So I've got it threaded through all of them. So what will happen is when I pull it, and be careful with this part because you don't want the string to snap, you just kind of gently pull it and it pulls it shut like that. So our next step will be the teeth. Let's go. And now I've got little threads hanging out of both sides, so I'm just going to thread these into the body to sew them and pull them out. And just like that, we've got our little teethers. Let's move on to the body. I love how already on the hood, like you can see the speckles coming through. It's so cute. All right, let's keep going. All right, so now we've reached a point where we're just gonna go round and round and round and round, trying to finish the hood. We have finished the hood. So, like so. The little head just pop in there like that. Just like that. Isn't it cute? It's gonna be so cute. Okay, now we gotta start on the rest of the body. And to make the arms, it was just a little chain instead of a magic ring to make these little arms that we're gonna attach now. If I can remember how to do it. Hard part's done. Now I'm gonna tie all these strings in here. So this is what we've got done with the body so far. We've got the arms, little arms here attached. That's poking up a little bit, but this is the body. Right now I'm starting to close up the middle, and similar to the head, it's not going to close all the way, and then we're going to stuff it, sew it shut, and attach the head. So let's go. We're almost done. The body we won't stuff as firmly as we did the head because I feel like if the body's a little squishy, that's okay. That's about a squishiness level that I am comfortable with. So now we're gonna sew it shut. After you've pushed your yarn ends in, you don't see them anymore. So now we've got our, I'll pull his hood forward a bit, our little confetti Grim. Oh, but he's missing something. And he's done! We got our little Grim Reaper boy. He turned out super cute. He's got a little spot on his head. This yarn has been very sheddy, maybe even more so than my other yarns. And I don't know if that's just on account of it having that other colored yarn entwined or not, but it is shedding quite a bit. So, but yeah, he's a cute little guy. But, you know, I can't just make one, so I have more. A whole rainbow, in fact. Look at all the Grim babies. Look at all of them and their cuteness. I can't even hold all of them well. I've got classic Grim and a rainbow pop Grim. So I've been very much into spooky season, as you can tell, making all the things, and I hope to keep making things through the end of October. Thank you so much if you stayed till the end of the video. I will link where I got the pattern from in the description below. So please go and support them. It was a great pattern. I mean, I made some modifications, but that's just me. It's very cute and simple to make, easy to whip up. So I hope you guys have a great spooky season, and let me know in the comments below which color Grim is your favorite. And what spooky crochet thing do you think I should make next? Feel free to let me know. And to keep up with the other things we make, feel free to check us out on Instagram and TikTok. I've been sharing a lot of TikToks with the spooky things for this season. If you want to keep up with what we do next, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!